Hi guys, welcome to Ash & Co Workshops. This is the instruction video on how to make your very own Scrappy Races car. Now I have got in the box in front of me the Bonnie and Clyde car, but all of the cars go together in the same way pretty much. So we're going to cover it all in one video here. There's only really a couple of things you need to take into consideration, and that is, one, are the wheels spinning nice and freely? So pay attention to that. The second thing is, if you want to attend our big race event here, once we all let out of our cages, then whenever that may be, then your car cannot weigh any more than 300 grams, okay? So no more than 300 grams to enter our race. Other than that, you can stick onto these cars whatever you want. If you've got stuff lying around the house that you think could look cool on your car, stick it on. Do whatever you like. We just want you to end up with a really super cool car that you can play with while you're stuck indoors. Okay, so let's get to it. I'm going to change the view from on top so you can see what I'm doing. See you there. Okay then, so this is the Scrappy Races car kit. This is one of 4 different cars that we do, but they all work the same way. So I'm going to do the basics with this car, and I'm sure you'll get the idea for the others. So they come with a set of gloves in there because I've ordered the super glue with this particular kit. If you want to use PVA glue, you can do that, but it takes a lot longer to make the car, okay? But if you've ordered a super glue kit, it'll come like this, and there should be in here a little nib for the bottle like this. To use the super glue, you just screw the tip on, screw it on like that. That will open the super glue. Then you hold it here and snap the top off. That will open the super glue, and then this bit here can be used as a lid. Now be careful when you're doing that you don't squeeze this super glue tube, because it will fire out the end and go everywhere, so you've got to be careful with that. The gloves in here, if you're a child, I do suggest you wear these gloves to stop yourself getting stuck to things, okay? But it's up to you. Okay, there will also be a super glue safety notice in there, just like this one as well. Please make sure you read that, okay? It's really important you read that before you use the super glue. Also in your kit is going to be a voucher for £5 off one of our courses and a link to our website so you can find this video, but hopefully you would have found that already. Okay then, so you'll have a nice big bit of sandpaper in there. You're going to have, this one's a Bonnie and Clyde style body. Oh, I just knocked my camera, sorry. This one's a Bonnie and Clyde style body, so we've got that one. Let's tip all these other components out and see what's in there. Okay, so it's handy to hang on to these boxes because you can use these for other projects too, or to keep your car in nice and safely. Every kit that we send out is very slightly different. So this one's got a couple of scrap wood pieces in it that you might be able to use in your car. We've got a few little like scoops here and little wedges. I've got 4 wheels. Important to note that the wheels that go out with the cars are random. Sometimes they're yellow, sometimes they're green, sometimes they're blue, sometimes they're red, sometimes they're mixed, okay? It is completely random, I'm afraid. So, the wheels go with the car like that. We've got, what else have we got here? We've got some important things here. These are the bolts which you've used to put the wheels on. So let's separate those out from the kit. Then we've got a lot of washers as well. We're going to need those as well. Okay, so it doesn't matter which car you've bought, they all come with one of these, and this is one of our bases. You use these to make one of the cars. Now we attach the wheels into these holes here, and that should be the first job that you do, because if you don't attach the wheels first, it's really easy to stick this on and get it slightly wrong like this, and then before you know it, your wheels don't turn round. So I suggest putting the wheels on first. But before you put the wheels on, you want to make sure that there's nothing that could stop the wheel turning round. And you see we've got these little bits in here. So if it were me, I would want to sand these off. So I've got a little piece of sandpaper. You can put that round a block, maybe a little block like this, and then use it to sand. Or you can keep it on the bench and just rub the wood back and forward like this, okay? We're going to go back and forward. That's the way I'm going to do it. Just hold it nice and tight like that so that you can do it, and then sand this as well. Now you see now it looks like it's filled in the holes now, but don't worry, it hasn't filled in the holes. Your screws will still go in there. You can poke those with a little bit of wire we got there. Okay, so the next step is to put the wheels on. So this is how we build a wheel. Now you can see this wheel here. Hopefully you can get this nice and close up. There's a little bit of plastic sticking out here. Just get your fingers and break that away, or push it into the hole. You can get a little bolt in there and just push it in and out, and just make sure that that plastic is broken off, because that will stop your wheel from turning. Do that on all 4 of your wheels. Just give them a quick check. Make sure there's no kind of plastic left over in there. Yeah, these ones are all good now. That's good. Okay then, so what we're going to do is get one of these bolts here, and we're going to get a washer, and we're going to put the washer on this side of the bolts. Then we're going to get the wheel. You can see these marks, like the inner part of the wheel here. That's the front of the wheel, okay? So we're going to put the bolt through the wheel like this. Okay, you can see that, and you can see immediately my wheel's going to turn fine. Now on the other side, you want to put at least one washer on there, maybe two. I'm just going to put two for good measure. Now once we've got it to this stage here, we can screw it in, and it should fit these holes really well. So you hold the screw over the hole like this and give it a screw and push as you turn it, and hopefully that will get the screw started off for you. Now mine started to bite now. Keep turning it, and you turn it this way, to the right, okay, or clockwise. Okay, then you're going to need a screwdriver, okay? You could use one on a drill if your dad's around or mum around to help you, or you could use just a screwdriver like this, okay? So we're just going to turn it to the right like this and keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. Now this does get a little bit boring, so in the workshop we quite often use a drill to do this job, but I want to do it by hand just to prove to everybody that I can. So here we go. Now you do it up. Now if you do it up too tight, the wheel won't turn, and if you do it too loose, it'll be too wobbly. So you've got to find just the right kind of setting. Now I think that's perfect for my car. Okay, so we're going to do the same with all four of those wheels. So just to go over it again, we want one washer. Oops. One washer like this. Then we put the wheel on. Then maybe another two washers like this, and these two washers keep the wheel away from the body and stop it from rubbing and slowing the car down. And ultimately you do want a fast car because you want to win a massive race that we're going to have. We're trying to come up with a really awesome prize for that, and we will get back to you very shortly with that, but I think it's going to be something super cool. Okay, so keep screwing this in. It's quite hard to do, especially if you're a child and you haven't used screwdrivers before. It does get a bit tricky, but I'm sure you're all going to manage. Okay, there we go. That's two wheels on. If you do both of them on one side first, and then when you turn it over, it'll be nice and flat. Okay, do another wheel. Oh, got to put my washer on. Don't forget your washer, Jonty. Here we go. Another one on there, and another one there, and then one more for luck. Okay, great. And I'm going to put this one on too. Now, I'm sure you guys are all bored of watching me do this already. So if you want to skip the video forward, please feel free. But I'm just going to keep working this nice and fast, as quick as I can. Okay. Nearly there. And that's that one about set as well. Great. Okay, so one last wheel then, one last wheel. Now you guys have got all the time in the world to do this, so just take your time. If your wrists start hurting because you haven't used a screwdriver before, that's okay. Just have a little bit of a break for a couple of minutes and then come back to it and you'll see you'll be able to do it. Okay, so again, we're going to push it in a hole like this, push and turn, push and turn, push and turn, and get it started. Okay, so now that it's started, we're going to get the screwdriver and we are going to go for it one last time. Even my wrists are hurting now, goodness. Right. Okay then. Now you want to check that all four of your wheels are spinning properly, and these four are. That is fantastic. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the base of any Ash & Co car, okay? So this is the base, and then it doesn't matter which pack you bought, whether you got the Bonnie and Clyde one or the Lightning McQueen one, basically all the components from here go on top like this, okay? And they just stick on top using the glue, okay? So you can now use these bits to create whatever car you want, depending on what's in your pack. But one of the key things is, if you're going to use super glue to stick things to this surface here, you've got to make sure that the surface is smooth. And as you can see here, this one here needs a bit of work, right? It's just been cut on our bandsaw. It needs a bit of sanding. So get the pieces onto your bit of sandpaper and just rub them back and forward like this, okay? Make sure that you've got nice flat pieces to sand. Okay, now on the Bonnie and Clyde one specifically, if you stick it like this, it's just going to break like this. So we've got a windscreen that goes with it, which you've got in the pack here. But I'm just going to spend a bit of time now just sanding this. Now I would like to use a sanding block, so I'm going to break a bit of my sandpaper off, turn it one way, turn it the other way, and it should snap like this. I'm going to get a little block like that and just wrap it around the edges of the block. And then if you put it on a nice hard block like this, and it makes life much easier when you're sanding it, okay? Now I'm just going to get all the rough edges off this here. And take your time with this, you know, you want your car to look totally awesome. I'm doing this really quick because we're doing it on the video, but you guys should really spend some time on it. You could get these curves at the back here looking really, really perfect just by spending the right amount of effort. Okay, that's going to do for what I need for today. I'm just going to put that on there. Now I need to find my windscreen component. We've been swapping them out of boxes all day. This is the little windscreen kit here that you can see, and there's also an engine block that should be in with this kit as well. So I've got that now. Going to give these a little bit of a sand. Okay, and now we can start to glue. So to use this super glue, it comes with a little nib like this. You put the nib on like this and you turn it, screw it in, and as you screw it in, it will open the super glue. Once that's on there nice and tightly, you can break this edge off here, and that edge will then become a lid for the super glue, okay? So here's one I'm already using, and you can see what that looks like when it's ready to go. Okay then, so I'm going to use this one. So before we start then, I want to make sure that this is going to be supported at the front. So I'm just going to put the windscreen in first. Now these windscreens work like this, okay? A base goes like this. These bits go on the side like this. Okay, and then that supports the front there. So yeah, I kind of like it like that actually. So I'm going to do it in position about there. So I'm going to move those bits. I'm going to put a little bit of glue, okay? Now it doesn't take a lot of this glue. If you use too much glue, guys, okay, it won't stick. It'll move around all over the place and you'll be wondering why. Okay, so just use a little bit of glue and then count to about 10-15 seconds and it should be stuck. On a piece like that, I can just leave it to set. Another tiny bit of glue. Hopefully you can see what this looks like. That's a tiny bit of glue, okay? That's all you need. You don't want too much glue or it won't stick. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. Now I just got a little bit on my fingers here, so actually I just realised I took it all around. I just got a little bit on that on my fingers, so I'm just going to wipe it away like this. It should be okay. Right, and then this little piece here. Well, I just noticed this little piece isn't square, so I'm just going to sand that off actually. Yeah, okay, that's better. Okay, a little bit of glue on that piece. I'm going to stick that down as well. So now hopefully you can see that. Hopefully it's going to stay out when I turn it sideways. You can see now that's how you stick the windscreen pieces on like that. Again, you can sand this much better than I have here. So now I want to put the back of it on. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue on this here. Now I'd suggest you want a fair bit of glue on the back there because you want to make sure it sticks. And of course you want some on these little posts here. So I'm going to do that, and then I want mine to go right to the back of my car. So I'm going to line that up as best I can. And then just hold it down like that. Now you can see now my Bonnie and Clyde style car coming together just perfectly. Now it's really important, okay, when you're using super glue, especially near the wheels here, that you don't want to get any on the wheels. If it runs down the side and goes on the wheels, your wheels will not turn, okay, and you'll need some new wheels. So take extra special care for that, okay? So you can see that my car's looking pretty cool already, don't you think? Bonnie and Clyde style car. Okay then, so what else have I got in my pack? Well, I've got this little engine block here, so I'm going to stick that on. But I'm going to do that in a minute because I want to put some wires on, and this applies to any of the cars with engine blocks. So these wires look really cool as like kind of exhaust pipes. So you can put them in these holes here and then bend them down and they look like exhausts. But to get them in can be a bit tricky. So get a pair of pliers, okay, is what I would suggest to you guys. Hold the wire about this far back like that. And then you see the hole that I've got in the piece of wood here. I'm going to put it in there and twist it like that. And I'm going to push it in nice and far so I know that it's gone in. And then I'm going to leave it sticking out like that. Going to get another piece of wire here. Just going to shove that in as well. There you go, that's that one done. I've got another piece here, just little bits. Oh, push that one in too. Okay, that's those three. Now I've got the other side, I've got another bit here. It's going to go on this side. Just, oh, I bent the wire there. Let's just hold it a bit closer to the end so it doesn't bend. And then push it in, and push it in. A bit more and a bit more. We'll make sure it's nice and in there. If you're finding these are too loose, you can put a little bit of super glue in and then push the wire in. And that will push the glue into the engine block and hold the wire in place. Now, this is just my idea of how to build this car. You can build it any way that you want to, okay? You don't have to build the Bonnie and Clyde style body like that. You can stick it down any way that you like. So just do whatever you think it looks cool, and that's what we'd really like to see. Okay, so once you've got these like this, sticking out, then if I were you, just with your thumbs, just bend them over like this, okay? Bend them over like that. And you can see now they're starting to look like exhaust pipes or something like that. Just be careful when you're doing this because the end of these wires can be a little bit sharp, okay? So just be a little bit careful. Okay, so now what we want to do with our pliers have a little cutting thing in them, or you can use a pair of scissors, but we want to cut these off at the right length. So I'm just going to cut these off here like this. That's it. Just cutting a little bit before you get to the end of the engine block so that when we put them in position they're not too long. This one here is just a tiny bit too long. Just going to lift it up a bit and just cut a tiny bit more off. Okay, and then I'd like to have mine sort of tipped forward like this. So once you've got them in place like this, you can tip them back so they don't get caught. And that's what I'm going to do right out of the way, and then I'm going to stick my engine block on. So got a little bit of glue on the bottom there, just not too much, tiny bit. I'm going to put my engine block right at the front of my car because that's where I feel like it should go. So that's going to just go on there like that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think that looks pretty cool. And you can push the wires in and then push them down even so they go straight down if you want to, or forwards, or whatever you want to do. You can see that's what mine looks like. Okay, what else have I got in my kit? Well, I have got like an exhaust pipe. Maybe I could put that right on there. Yeah, I kind of fancy that. I'm going to do that. So, get a little exhaust pipe here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on there. Hopefully you can see this properly. I'm going to put it to one side because I think that looks kind of cool. Now, of course, you can use anything that you've got around your house. You know, you might have some washi tapes, some really cool craft stuff. You could put like Go Faster stripes going down here, all sorts of really cool stuff. But bear in mind, if you want to race it in the Ash & Co races, don't stick out stuff that's sticking out too far or it won't work. And don't have stuff sticking out the back or out the front, because when it goes down our track, it won't make it through the bend and you won't be able to race your car. So make sure it keeps within the wheelbase, okay? So that's our little Bonnie and Clyde car. Then we've got all the stuff left over. I've got things like a couple of headlights that you could use. You could even stick on something like this could go like as a jetpack at the back. That would kind of be okay. Maybe another exhaust at the top there, something along those lines. There's all sorts of things you could do. I got some spikes. Maybe you want those sticking out. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some spikes on mine because I got some spikes in my kit. So all the kits are completely different. So some of them have got spikes, some of them don't. But you just have to work with whatever it is that you've got, and that's kind of the joy of these kits. Sometimes you'll get bolts in there, like in this kit. Sometimes you'll get spikes, you know. It just depends what you've got, really. Okay, so yeah, I love my little spikes. They look super cool. But I haven't sanded them. They'd look better if I sanded them, I think. Okay, and then what else have I got? I've got this little, well, this could be like a really cool spoiler. What do you think? Maybe even go on the front. Looks like a New York taxi like that, doesn't it? Okay, I think I'm going to leave those off mine. And then I've got a little dude here. He's my helmet head man. And we can sand him and we can stick him in there as my driver if we want to, like this. But I think I'm going to leave my car because I kind of like it like that. I can play with that. That looks really good. He brooms along totally fine, so I'm going to leave that. But then I've got all this stuff left over, right? So I could do something really cool with this stuff, you know? What can I do with it? Well, I can make a little man, right? So maybe if I stuck his head on here, these could be his arms. Maybe they're his hands, go on the edge. Got two legs like this. They could stick on like his feet. I don't know, see what you can come up with all the spare components. There's so many things here. You could do all sorts of stuff. See, look, even this looks like a kind of person. You could put a little nose on, like this. And that's a guy with 2 little feet. You see, you can stick it together and make something. So try and use all the components. And most of all, send us pictures of what you guys made. You know, we really want to see what you have made with all of these different components. So all that remains is for me to cover off a couple of the other cars. So I'll do that now. So I've got all these other kits here, and they all come with like little different things to make them, you know, uniquely special. So it's a bit messy, but I'm just going to show you. So we've got this one here. This is called a gangster style body, and this one came with like one of these pieces, but you can do whatever you want. And again, you see you've got the base like that. The gangster style body goes onto the base, and then you can sand it and make it look really cool. Put an engine block at the front. So that's the gangster one. Then you've got a sheriff car, which I kind of love. My 4-year-old boy loves a sheriff car. So you can see this goes like this. I think this one comes with a couple of stars. Yeah, it does. So you can put the star on the side, and it also comes with a little siren that sits on top like that. It actually raised up on something like this. There's another little piece in there, and that makes a really cool sheriff car. So we got that one. And then we've got like a racing car style body, or Lightning McQueen. He looks a bit like Lightning McQueen, don't you think? So we put that, and that sticks on top like that. And again, you get the wheels on, and you can put eyes on him if you want to. You can do all sorts of things. But again, they're totally your own creations. All of these kits come with some scrap wood inside them, so you can make whatever you want. But they all follow the same principles, and that is get the wheels on first in the way that I showed you. Be careful you don't use too much super glue, and then just put the guy together and give him a good sand. And it's going to look absolutely fantastic. So whatever you decide to make, do let us know, won't you? See what you can make with the extras as well. That's what I'd really love to see. And then hopefully when we're all allowed out again, we can see you for an awesome Scrappy Races event where you can where you can race your super creations. So remember, your car can't weigh any more than 300 grams, okay? So do check it. I think this one is going to weigh about 230 grams as it sits now. So 300 grams, you can add a lot more stuff to it than that, okay? Pick some stuff around the house, add anything you like to it. Put a block there if you want to. Put this there, do whatever you want to do, okay? Can't wait to see your cars. I hope you really enjoy making them. I'll see you later, guys. Bye, bye. Okay, that brings us to the end of our instructional video. I hope you enjoy making one of your characters or cars or rainbow, whichever one that you chose, and that you make something completely unique that's completely your own. We use really high quality woods, and we give you as many accessories as we can possibly afford so that you can make something that really is yours, not something that we designed. And I think that's what makes the difference with Ash & Co workshops. That's really what we're all about, whether it's a car or a rainbow or any of the characters. So we hope you agree. I hope you have a great time, and please, please, please send us photos, videos of all of the stuff that you've made. We're going to put it on a massive gallery, especially while we're in the lockdown period. We just really, really want to keep a track of everything everybody's making, because we just think it's awesome. So have fun, everybody. Stay safe, and big love to you all. Mwah.